Good morning, Dr. Mrs. Ruchi Tripathi. Good morning, sir. Dr. Ruchi, good morning. Dr. Ruchi.
Good morning. Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, thank you. Kavde, sir. Good morning, Dr. Kavde. Good morning, Dr. Kavde. Dr. Devender, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Kavde. Good morning, Dr. Devender Kavde. Good morning, Dr. Devender Kavde. Dr. Kavde, good morning. Dr. Devender Kavde, good morning.
Hello.
Are you able to listen?
Can you hear?
Dr. Devender Kavde. Hello.
Hello. Here. Hello. Can you hear?
Yes, Professor Kavde, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Good. Is it clear? Very clear?
Yes, sir. It's very clear. We are able to hear you. Thank you.
So nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. Kumarji, namaskar. Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
हाँ
Yes,
हाँ
sir.
आ गया मेरी आवाज क्लियर है सर?
Yes, sir. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today's webinar is on NAG awareness program for affiliated and constituent colleges. We at NAG are conducting series of webinars for the benefit of all the higher education institutions and all our stakeholders. We have scheduled 34 seminars, 34 webinars, and almost 24 webinars has been completed. I request all of you to participate actively. You can ask questions after the presentation. You can ask questions by using Q&A and by using chat. So for all of your information, we are conducting on 19th May 2020. We are at 3 p.m. We are conducting a program on physical and emotional development of the youth for a better society. Extension and outreach activity, 19th May 2020 at 3 p.m. And for Health Science College manuals, we are conducting a program on 20th May at 3 p.m. The entire program, the entire today's program, you can see in YouTube. In YouTube, you can search NAP affiliated. If you search NAP affiliated, you can see the entire live program. You can see in our website as well. Director NAG, Professor S.C. Sharma, has conveyed his best wishes for this webinar. Today's resource person, I am Professor Amyak Kumar Rath, Advisor NAG, Dr. B.S. Ponmudi Raj, Advisor NAG, Dr. Devendra S. Kavade, Deputy Advisor NAG, Dr. K.R. Vishnu Mahesh, Assistant Advisor NAG, and Dr. Ruchi Tripathi, Assistant Advisor NAG. I am there as a moderator of the program, and Mr. Samuel, our system analyst. We'll start the program. Dr. BSP Purmodiraj, you want to say something? Or we will start with the presentation?
Yes, as introduced by Amya Kumar Rath, we have a sequence of presentation. The first presentation is about the overview of the revised accreditation framework of NAC. Then we will speak about the SSR, self-study report for affiliated and constituent colleges. That will be initially done by Professor Amya Kumar Rath, followed by a presentation by Dr. Ruchi Tripathi on data validation and verification. Then we have Dr. Devendra S. Kavde for SSS, Student Satisfaction Survey. Then we have a last presentation by Dr. K.R. Vishnu Mahesh, Assistant Advisor, talking about the peer team visit, logistics, peer team management, and assessment outcome. So we are trying to keep the time management very well on presentations. Please send your questions after each presentation, before, after, during, through live chat. We will be able to answer the questions through live chat. Then, depending on the timing, we will be able to take up audio-video questions. Audio-video questions. In between, interventions will also be made. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Over to Professor Amya Kumar Rath, Advisor
Yes.
NAC.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the vision of NAC is to make quality the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external evaluation, promotion, and sustenance initiatives. The NAC mission is to arrange periodic assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions, promote quality of teaching and learning and research in higher education institutions, to encourage self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy, innovations in higher education, to undertake quality research studies, consultancy and training programs, to collaborate with other stakeholders of higher education. Our core values are contributing to national development, fostering global competencies among students, inculcating value system among students, use of technology, and quest for excellence. If you look at the different criteria of NAC, we have 7 different criteria. The criteria are curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. To understand the 7 criteria, each criteria again we have divided into different key indicators. Key indicators into metrics. Those metrics we call it as quantitative metrics and qualitative metrics. During my presentation, we'll discuss key indicators, quantitative metrics, qualitative metrics. Okay, let us talk about profile of affiliated constituent colleges, UG and PG. If you look at different criteria, as far as affiliated PG is concerned and affiliated UG is concerned, we have 7 criteria as I mentioned, but key indicators are 32 in PG and 31 in UG. Qualitative metrics are 36 in PG and 35 in UG. Quantitative metrics are 60 in PG and 58 in UG. Total metrics, quantitative plus qualitative, is 96 in PG and 93 in UG. So as you know, the qualitative metrics will be validated by the peer team members, when they visit your institutes, the quantitative metrics will be verified and validated by the DVB partners. Right. If you look at in each criteria, how many quantitative metrics and how many qualitative metrics. You look at this in curricular aspects, there are 8 quantitative metrics and 3 qualitative metrics. Similarly, in teaching, learning, and evaluation, 9 and 7. Subsequently, for all the criteria, different quantitative metrics and qualitative metrics. Let us talk about the first criteria, curricular aspects. The key indicators are 4. There are 4 key indicators. The weightage for curricular aspects is 100. The key indicators are curricular planning and implementation, academic flexibility, curricular enrichment, and feedback system. So what is important in curricular aspects is how you deliver the curriculum to the students. Do you have your academic calendar, continuous internal evaluations based on the academic calendar, whether the faculty members are delivering the curriculum, whatever is prescribed by the universities, whether you provide choice-based credit system or elective courses are available, whether you provide add-on or certificate courses to the students, whether the course on professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, and sustainability, whether those kind of courses are available in the curriculum, or if it is not available, what is the kind of programs you conduct so that students can understand what is professional ethics, the human values, in importance of environment and sustainability. Do you conduct some seminars for this if it is not available in the curriculum for affiliated college? What are the percentage of courses where project work, field work, internships will students are going? So how many students participate in field work and internship? Do you conduct some kind of curricular enrichment program for employability of students? Because for employability of students, whether you conduct enrichment programs so that the courses, whatever you are providing as curricular enrichment or add-on courses will be employable. Whether you collect feedback from the students regarding curriculum, because students are the major stakeholders. See, we understand that we collect feedback about the curriculum. Mere collecting feedback is not sufficient. Whether the feedbacks that you are collecting is analyzed and action taken, and whether it is available on website. I remember some of the affiliated colleges used to tell that universities prescribing the syllabus. We don't have any role in a syllabus, but it's the responsibility of all affiliated colleges, collect feedback of students, conduct meeting among the faculty members in every subject, find out what are the portions to be included. Let us send it to the universities. Let us send it to the universities to include those courses. Okay, NAAC wants you have a process for improving the quality of education, whether your college takes interest or takes part in developing the curriculum of the universities. So for UG college, let us say qualitative metrics, institute integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, and sustainability into the curriculum. So as far as qualitative metrics is concerned, you need to write within 500 words. If it is more than 500 words, you can put a URL there and post everything in your website. Post everything in the website, and URL, the link you can provide in the, in that corresponding to that metric. Similarly, for a quantitative metrics, I've given an example. Average percentage of courses that include experiential learning to project work, field work, internship during last 5 years. It's a quantitative metrics. In the quantitative metrics, you need to write data requirement is for 5 years. So name of the course, details of experiential learning through project work, field work, internship, name of the program. We have provided different fields. We have provided the templates. I request all of you, please don't change the templates. If you change the templates, if you change the fields, it will not be validated by the DVB partners. So whatever the fields we provided, please enter the details on that using that fields. Look at this. The first key indicators, I've just given an example. 1.3.1 is a qualitative matrix where the weightage is 10. Similarly, for a quant Q, 1.3.2 is a quantitative matrix, weightage is 10. And again, 1.3.3 is a quantitative, weightage is 10. The first one is a qualitative matrix. The mark distribution is 10 in each category. The PhD, every metric is mapped onto 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in this case, first case, the peer team members are given 2 there. 10 into 2, you get 20. In the second case, DVV partner, of course, DVV partner only will validate the numbers. They will not give either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, will not be given by the DVV partner. They will validate and verify whatever the data submitted by the institutions. Suppose if the system will calculate 3 there, 10 into 3 is 30. Suppose system will calculate for 1.3.32, then 10 into 2 you get 20. So total you get 70 there as far as these 3 metrics are concerned. But maximum value is 30 into 4 is 120. Minimum of course 0, the maximum is 120. Okay. As far as teaching, learning and evaluation is concerned, it's criteria 2. The weightage for this is 350. We expect that student enrollment and profile, catering to student diversity, teaching learning process, teacher profile and quality, evaluation process and reforms, student performance and learning outcomes, student satisfaction survey. These are all key indicators in criteria 2. So in that we expect the seats filled against the reserved category, against various categories reserved policies prescribed by the government. We try to find out whether you conduct some kind of exercise to know who is advanced learners and who is slow learners, whether you conduct program for the slow learners so that they will understand the class. Because for slow learners, you need to bring those students so that they will understand everything in the class. So whether you conduct some kind of coaching classes, whether you conduct some kind of remedial classes for the slow learners, whether you have a policies to assess the learning level of the students, what is the student full-time teacher ratio? Do you conduct some kind of experience the faculty members, whether the faculty members practice different teaching methodology in the classroom, talk about experiential learning, participative learning, problem solving methodologies, whether the faculty members use ICT tools for effective teaching learning process. In this period, in this COVID-19 periods, it's very essential for the faculty members to get acquainted with all the ICT based learning, how to make the students understand in an online mode. That is very important for all the faculty members. So it's very important that the faculty should practice different teaching techniques, talk about multimedia and animations, game, snacks and letters, demonstration, seminar, role play, group discussions, case studies and brainstorming. Because all those techniques are very important to make a students understand the class. Gone are those days where faculty's notes, it will be given to the students' notes. Understanding in the class is not important nowadays. Understanding the class, retaining the concept for a long time. What say today, suppose if a student will see a movie, they can retain that retain that story for a long time. But what is the problem with the classroom teaching? Why the student is not retaining the concept during the examinations? So we need to teach the students in such a way that maybe some kind of role play we can conduct in a classroom, maybe some kind of demonstration we can show so that they can remember the concept for a long time. Whether you conduct quizzes, word puzzle, and whether ICT is used in teaching learning process. Again, in teaching learning and evaluations, we ask ratio of mentor to students. How many students is one faculty is assigned a mentor? Mentor-mentee kind of relationship, whether 50 students, one mentor, or 20 students, one mentor. That's very important. The average percentage of full-time teachers, again, is sanctioned post. Full-time teachers with PhD qualifications, program outcomes and course outcomes for all the programs. All the programs should have course outcomes and program outcomes. I will discuss about this subsequent in my subsequent slides I will discuss about what is a course outcome, what is a program outcome, what is the attainment of program outcomes and course outcomes. Some of the affiliated colleges says that universities doesn't prescribe course outcome, universities doesn't give program outcomes. So what we should do? I will tell all of you that how simple the course outcome and program outcome is. Average pass percentage of students. Online student satisfaction survey. We conduct online student satisfaction survey with regard to teaching, learning and process. The first one is qualitative metrics. As I was mentioning, the student-centric methods such as participative learning, problem-solving methodologies, and used for enhancing learning experiences. As far as qualitative metrics is concerned, you need to write within 500 words. Similarly, the second one is also qualitative metrics. Teachers use ICT-enabled tools for effective teaching learning process. It's also a qualitative metrics. If it is, you have to write within 500 words. If it is more than 500 words, you can put the URL there, and that all those information you can upload in your website. Ratio of mentor to students, as I mentioned, it's a quantitative metrics. Then let us try to understand how can we enhance the thinking level of our learners. See, so what is important is what I'm teaching is not important, whether our students are learning or not. If I ask whether you want teaching or learning, the answer is learning. If I ask whether you want active learning or passive learning, definitely everybody will say, I want active learning. If I ask you another questions, whether you want active learning or interactive learning, the answer is you want interactive learning. If you want to have interactive learning to happen, so a faculty has to take a lot of pains to use different teaching practices, teaching methodologies in the classroom. Look at this, Benjamin Bloom is popularly called as Bloom's taxonomy. Then, of course, after Bloom, another students of Bloom's has again published and I has mentioned that revised Bloom's taxonomy. So education should focus on mastery of subjects and the promotion of higher forms of thinking. What is higher forms of thinking? Rather than a utilitarian approach to simplify transferring facts, only knowing fact is not important. You should understand our high forms of thinking. What is that high forms of thinking? So remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, creating and evaluating and creating. Okay, yeah. So that means I will give a simple example for you to understand. But see, simply remembering, understanding is not enough. We need to take a students from one level of understanding to another level of understanding. We call this as a lower thinking to higher thinking. Remembering, understanding, they are lower thinking. We need to take a student from lower thinking to higher thinking. Why I am talking about Bloom's taxonomy? Because when you develop your course outcomes, then you can understand the importance of Bloom's taxonomy. So look at this. For higher thinking skills, when you are developing your course outcomes, you need to use the verbs: creating, generate, design, construct, write, reorganize, evaluating, evaluate, contrast, critique, appraise, remembering, state, recall, list, label, name. These are the verbs you can use by developing your course outcomes. See, I've given a simple example. These examples I've taken from an engineering discipline, of course, but it's very easy to understand. All of you can understand. So what is remembering? Suppose you have to start by remembering state Ohm's law. Ohm's law is very popular in electrical engineering. Okay, state Ohm's law. This is only remembering. Without understanding, student can write it or student can express it in the examination paper without understanding. Just by heart the things and he can express. Understanding is, see, what does I equals to V by R mean in words? Can you explain what that means with a picture or by using a register as a prop? That means if you understand, then only you can explain I equal to V by R. I equal to V by R voltage, resistor, current. You can, if you understand, then only you can write. Then apply. Apply Ohm's law to derive in solving a problem. Apply Ohm's law in solving a problem. Resistor is given 12 volts. Voltage equal to 12 volts. Resistance equal to 3 ohms. You need to find out current. Without understanding, you can't do it. That's not sufficient. Well, that's not very simple. If you have a circuit, a complex circuit is given to you, then you need to analyze what is the current in 6 ohm resistors. The circuit is given to you, what is the current flow in the 6 ohm resistors? That is analyzing. So what is important is, whenever you are setting question paper for the students, you should see that you should have some questions from higher form of thinking. Not only remembering and understanding, but there should be some questions from analyzing, applying. Okay. What is outcome-based education? Outcome-based education is starting with a clear picture of what is important for students to be able to do. What is important for our students? So if you talk about importance for our students, what is important is curriculum is important, delivery mechanism is important, and assessment is important. If you have proper curriculum, delivery, and assessment mechanism, then only learning happens. You should have a best curriculum, you should have a good delivery mechanism of the curriculum to the students, then what is the assessment methods? When we develop your course outcomes, it should be student focused. It should not be professor centered. It should be student focused. Focus on objectives and outcomes. Focus on abilities central to the discipline. Focus on aspect of learning. And this should not, that number should be 4 to 5. You should not have 10 or 20 course outcomes. It should be 4 to 5 course outcomes. Look at it. I've taken a simple example. So the content is not much important because you might be from a different discipline. Look at the course outcome is, at the end of the course, student will be able to CO1 compute. Student will be able to calculate. Student will be able to apply, relate, and select. These are the 5 course outcomes I have defined. CT201 is the course code. C201 is the course code. .1, .2, .3, .4, .5. These are the course outcomes I have defined based on Bloom's verb. Bloom's taxonomy verb I have taken to define the course outcomes. You can define the course outcomes by writing, remember this, understand this, but there should be something called from higher form of thinking. So whenever you have a course, every course has different unit or different modules. You can have, again, if you go a little down, you can have a unit outcome or you can have a module outcome as well. So what is a program outcomes? See, this course outcome is for the entire subjects. What is a program? Program is BSc Computer Science is a program. BTech Computer Science is a program. BCom is a program. When you complete your program, the students will have different courses. Suppose for a BSc Computer Science program, students should study 18 to 20 different subjects. All those 20 different subjects, we call it as a course. And what is a program? BSc Computer Science is a program. BTech Computer Science is a program. So in program outcome, what is program outcomes? Program outcomes is when students will complete BTech Computer Science, what is the attributes they should possess? Okay, what is the attributes they should possess? We expect students should have some engineering knowledge, problem analysis, design development of solutions, investigation of complex problems, modern tool usage, engineer and society, environment and sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communications, project management and finance, lifelong learning. These are the 12 graduates defined. These are the 12 graduate defines for different programs. You can choose some of them, but environment is important, team spirit is important, communication is important, project management, finance is important, lifelong learning is important. All those program outcomes, these are called as graduate attributes. Okay, these graduate attributes which form the student learning outcomes. When you define a program outcomes, Program outcomes basically describe the knowledge, skills, and behavior of students when they progress from first year till final year, when they progress from year 1 to year 2, year 3, year 4, the students' knowledge, skills, and behavior of the students is very important. That should describe, that should be reflected in program outcomes. Program outcomes should not be too broad. They must align with the graduate attributes. Our intention is the graduate attributes, what we have defined, that the student should possess after graduations. So they must reflect all the graduate attributes defined. Let us take an example. Ability to acquire and apply fundamental principles of science and engineering. Next is capability to communicate effectively. Next, technical competence in specialized areas. Formulate and model problems of engineering problems. Conduct research. Important sustainability and cost effectiveness in design and development of engineering problems. Professional and ethical responsibilities. Work effectively as an individual, okay, and a team. Multi-skilled engineering with having management, leadership, and entrepreneurship skills. Global and environment responsibility, and lifelong learning. All those program outcomes we have defined, which align with the graduate attributes what we have defined. So now the question arises, what to do with these program outcomes? What is the relationship with program outcomes and course outcomes? If you look at that, all the course outcomes, suppose engineering has got 40 different courses. 40 different courses, you must link with those 40 different courses with the program outcomes. I have taken a simple example of one course and there are 10 program outcomes. So what is the relationship between the course outcomes and program outcomes? I will study CO1, PO1. What is the link? Whether it is slightly correlated, whether it's moderately correlated, whether it is substantial or high correlated, or it is no correlation. So with that, you have to do it for all the courses. You have to do it for all the courses. See, the idea is you need to find out course outcome. What is the outcome? Now you have defined this. What is the outcome of a course? Our students have taken this course, but what is the outcome? When you calculate the outcome of a course, you need to find out there are different tools. There are different tools. What is, whether you have a direct assessment tools or indirect assessment tools. What is a direct assessment tools and what is the indirect assessment tools? Direct assessment tool is students are writing examinations, your midterm examinations, end semester examinations, quizzes, assignments. These are all direct assessment tools. What is the indirect assessment tools? Indirect assessment tool is, as far as course is concerned, your course exit survey, course end survey, that is your indirect assessment tools. You can have 80% for course direct assessment tools, 20% for indirect assessment tools. You can take feedback from students in a Likert scale and try to find out, merge this with mod this, and try to find out what is the attainment of a course outcomes. See, apart from program outcomes, you should have some program specific outcomes. Program specific outcomes is beyond POs. You might be thinking, for BE Computer Engineering, BTech Computer Science, BTech Electronics, BTech Mechanical, BTech Civil Engineering, can we have same program outcomes? Yes, the answer is yes. You can have same program outcomes for all the disciplines, for all the programs, but every program should have program specific outcomes. Program specific outcome is beyond program outcomes, specific to a particular program, which will be 2 to 4 in number. You can define so that, so as far as computer science is concerned, yes, my program specific outcome is after end of the programs, students should fit into the IT industry. That can be my program specific outcomes. So attainment of program specific outcome is also important. See, this is a blueprint of a faculty. Faculty has to be properly motivated. He should have a complete industrial exposure, because we tell that our passing out from our university student will go to industry, but faculty should have industrial exposure, enhanced teaching learning process, teaching learning skills he should have. Enhanced teaching learning process, the outcome is consistency in performance, better content delivery to the students, and he should be involved in research. If it is student is concerned, it should have the student expect the curriculum. Okay, you should have a state-of-the-art curriculum, state-of-the-art laboratories, good faculty, good ambience, good infrastructures. Then outcome is academically sound. Soft skills, professional approaches, and diversified competencies. As far as blueprint of teaching learning is concerned, modern teaching aids, need-based curriculum, improved and person-dependent evaluations. These are the inputs. The outcome is higher acceptability, concept clarity, learning to learn skills, and diversified competencies. This is a blueprint of teaching learning process. Look at this, active and interactive learning. So what is the expectations of the students? Not only engineering, for all students, what is the expectation from the students? So if I ask you one question, are these people intelligent? M.F. Hussain, Lata Mangeshkar, Sachin Tendulkar, Medha Patkar, Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi. Are these people intelligent? My next slide is, let us look at this theory of multiple intelligence, which is very important because we all have different kinds of intelligences. Everybody in this earth have got different kinds of intelligences in different amounts that can be improved. A particular student has got a particular intelligence, but he doesn't possess some other intelligences, but that some other intelligences which he doesn't possess can be improved. Due to that, I thought this slide is very important to put it here. And intelligence is the ability to solve problems or to create products that are valued within one or more cultural settings. This is Howard Gardner's. Look at this. There are linguistic intelligences. Some students are word smart. Logical and mathematical intelligences. Some students are number smart. Spatial intelligences. Some students are picture smart. If you see a picture, they can understand. If you explain them, they will keep it within themselves by creating a pictures. So some of them are bodily and kinesthetic intelligences. Body smart. I'll give a simple example of a body smart. I remember when I was used to teach in my university. So if you tell, I forget the dusters, can some of you go and bring the dusters? Definitely you will find there will be one student who will, every day he will be interested to go outside and bring dusters. Those kind of students possess body intelligence, body smart, bodily or kinesthetic intelligence. Musical intelligences, interpersonal intelligences, people smart, intrapersonal intelligences, self-start, naturalistic intelligences, nature smart, existential intelligences. All still research is going on existential intelligences. Some students will pose questions whether God exists. Those kind of students has got they got this existential intelligences. Look at this. Okay. As I was mentioning, linguistic intelligence use language to express and complex things, understand complex meanings. Logical mathematical intelligence, ability to calculate, quantify, perform complex mathematical logical operations. Kinesthetic intelligence is ability to use body in expressive and rhythmic ways. Spatial intelligence is ability to think in 3 dimensions, pictures. Musical intelligence is ability to recognize and reproduce sound patterns. Interpersonal ability to understand people. Intrapersonal ability to think about and understand one's own self. Naturalistic intelligence is discriminate things in nature living as well as non-living. Existential intelligence raise and handle deep fundamental questions about human existence. Research is still in progress in existential intelligences. So we need to understand what is the prominent intelligence in the students and what is the least intelligence in the students. Apply the prominent intelligence to improve the least intelligence. I'll give a simple example. Suppose some students is very good in English, communication skills. Okay, he possesses interpersonal intelligences. If you tell him, can you just summarize whatever I have discussed in the class, he'll be more interested. But somebody is he's not number smart, mathematical logical intelligence. So slowly by using that prominent intelligence, So it is the duty of faculty members to improve the least intelligence in the students. The implication is, first, it implies that a faculty had to structure the teaching classroom activities to suit the profile of his learners. I will try to find out, suppose there are 60 students, I will try to find out, I will make a cluster of those students, 10 different clusters based on what is the similarities in one cluster. All that similarities, I'll put it in one cluster. 10 different clusters I will have. So in that, I will have, then I will make different groups so that students will, prominent intelligence, least intelligent students will go to under prominent intelligence. Second, the teacher needs to provide opportunities to learners to demonstrate their learning through methods that match with their personal intelligence profile. Demonstration of student is very important based on what is the intelligence they possess and what is the intelligences they don't possess, and faculty has to tell the students to demonstrate so that they will possess those skills. Third one is, perhaps the most important, is strengthen the areas that appear at the lower end of the intelligence profile. It's the duty of faculty members. The lower end of the intelligence profile, that has to be strengthened. As I was mentioning, identifying prominent intelligence and least intelligence. Let us look at this. Let's come back to what I was discussing in teaching learning process. In teaching learning process, I explained you the course outcomes. I've explained you the program outcomes. I've explained you how course outcome has to be derived by using Bloom's taxonomy and revised Bloom's taxonomy. We need to take a student from low order thinking to high order thinking. And I spoke about the intelligence of the students, how to apply the Gardner's different intelligence settings to make to see the prominent intelligence and least intelligence and all that. Let us look at this, that qualitative metrics and quantitative metrics. Qualitative metrics will be given by peer team members. Okay, this is 20 into 2, we got 40, and the quantitative second one is also qualitative, third one is a quantitative metrics. The maximum score for 50 weightage is you got 115. The maximum is 50 into 4 is 200. That's okay. Yeah, as far as the first one is a peer assessment. You can look at it. Institute integrates cross-cutting issues relevant to professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, and sustainability into the curriculum. It's a peer assessment. It will be evaluated by the peer team members. Second one is average percentage of courses that include experiential learning, project work, field work, etc. Our benchmark is like this. If it is greater than or equal to A, you got 4, A to BB 3, BB to CC 2, DD to CC 1, and less than DD 0. Based on whatever is the performance of your institute, it will fall into one of the category of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then whatever the number you get, that will be multiplied by the weight value, and whatever you get, that's the score value. Similarly, for percentage of students undertaking project work, field work, internship, this. Okay, this is another example. I've taken average percentage of full-time teachers with PhD during last 5 years. Percentage we have calculated. So in 2013-14, we have 122 number of full-time teachers, out of which 52 is PhD qualification. Percentage you have calculated, and average percentage you have calculated, right? Like a third category, third criteria, research mobilization for research. In innovation ecosystem, in UG, there is no innovation ecosystem, but innovation ecosystem in PG, the weightage is 10. Similarly, for research publication hours, in UG is 15, PG is slightly more, weightage is 25, extension activities is 16 UG, and in PG it is 50, and collaboration in both 20. In UG, 110 is the weightage, and PG 120. So we expect grants for research projects sponsored by government and as well as non-government, percentage of departments having research projects. Institution has created ecosystem for innovations, number of workshops, seminars. You need to conduct seminars and workshops for industry, academic, innovatives, or intellectual property rights. Very important that you need to conduct workshops in those areas. You need to conduct workshops related to patents. You need to conduct workshops related to IPRs. Let our faculties and students get motivated. Number of seminars, conferences, workshops conducted. How many research papers published by a teacher in the referred journals. It's very important that you motivate your faculty members to publish good research papers. Just I was just attending another program. One of the faculty members was telling that today it was there in UGC, tomorrow it's not there. So what we should do? My answer to all of you is please publish papers in research articles in good Scopus on Web of Science or Science Citation Index SCI journals. Okay, let it take more time. If you publish one paper in SCI journals, its weightage is much more than publish several papers in substandard journals. Books and chapters in edited volumes, books published, activities in the neighborhood community, extension activities are very important. How many activities, whether you have adopted a village, what are the activities you conduct as far as community development is concerned, as far as extension activity is concerned. Number of papers published per teacher in the journals, how many teachers publish papers, the students' participation in extensions, students' participation in Swachh Bharat, number of extension and outreach activities, whether you have received awards and recognitions received for extension activities. Number of linkages and faculty exchange program, student exchange program, internship, field trip, on-the-job training and research. If all those parameters, if you look at all those criteria, what we have defined, will definitely improve the quality of education. Not only the quality of education, the quality culture also has to improve. Ultimately, we want a student has to be a good citizen of the country. It's very important that students should be a good citizen of the country. It is only they can inculcate when they are there in education, when they are there with you, when they are there in the educational institution. Number of functional MOUs. Mere having MOUs is not important. Whether the MOUs are functional, how many students got benefit out of MOU, how many students got benefit out of MOUs. All those points are very important. Okay. Similar examples. Now, if you look at criteria 4, we have physical facilities, library as a learning resource, IT infrastructure, maintenance of campus infrastructure. Now, physical facilities is important. IT infrastructure is very important. Okay, last more than 1 month, we are conducting webinars, we are conducting SSR's orientation program, we are conducting group activities. I'll tell you, if you want to involve the students, the group activities, you can do it online, you can do it. IT infrastructure should be much better. You should have good IT infrastructures. Adequate facilities for teaching, learning, classrooms, laboratories. Okay, all right, fine, that's fine. But I expect more IT activities. Mere having building will not be important. But in these days, you should have good ICT facilities and budget allocation for ICT facilities, budget allocation for physical facilities, whether your library is automated, whether you provide, whether you do e-governance, whether you procure e-journals for the students, okay, e-books for the students, whether students are motivated to refer to e-journals. Mere purchasing e-journals will not be important. How many faculty members are using e-journals? How many students are using e-journals? All those points are important. Facilities for sports and games, okay, gymnasium, yoga center, expenditure purchase of books, e-content development. Nowadays, e-content development is very important. You have a small studio in your institute, small studio, maybe small studio, so that e-content can be developed, and those e-content can be circulated among students. You can put it in your intranet, so that students can benefit out of it. So Wi-Fi facilities, whether you have Wi-Fi facilities, what is the bandwidth of internet connectivity, what is the student computer ratios, average expenditure in maintenance is very important. Infrastructure, learning resource, you have, whether you have electricity facilities, books, journals, periodicals, digital connectivity, maintenance of campus facilities, online learning resources. I will take this online learning resources at the top because we should prepare for the worst. We can't afford that our children will lose 1 year or 2 years. Online learning resources should be much effective. You should see how the online learning resources should be imparted to the students so that they'll get maximum benefit out of it. Whether you conduct virtual classrooms, whether your website is dynamic or you have a static website, and housekeeping and cleanliness, that's all right. The criteria 5, we have student support, student progression, student participation and activities, and alumni engagement. Little bit here and there, UG, PG, UG 140 and PG it is 130. Because PG you have taken some of the weightage as far as research component is concerned. In PG we expect some research by the faculty members. When student support and progression, student benefited by scholarship, free ships provided, whether the capacity building and skill development program, skill enhancement program you are conducting for the students, whether whether yoga, physical fitness and all that is important, competitive examinations, career counseling, remedial coaching, yoga, meditation, personal counseling, student grievances are readdressed or not, what is the placement of your outgoing students? Whether students place in qualifying examination also in state, national level. Outstanding performance in sports and cultural, whether student council exists, whether student council, just mere having student council is not important, whether they participate actively in academic and administrative bodies of the universities, or academic or administrative bodies of the college, so that they take, so that you are taking students also into account for different decision making. Whether the alumni association exists, whether it's registered or not, whether you do some kind of programs for alumni, whether alumni is contributing for to the anything to the institute. So sixth criteria is governance, leadership and management, institutional vision and leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management, resource mobilization, internal quality assurance system. We have 100 weightage for criteria 6. So vision and mission of the institute is important. So just mere having vision and mission is not important. To fulfill the vision and mission, what is the steps you are taking? What is the steps you are taking to fulfill the vision and mission of the institute? Whether you have a decentralized or participative management or autocratic management, whether do you have a perspective or strategic plans and deployment of documents, whether you have a 5-year strategic plan, whether you have organizational structure, whether your administrative setup or e-governance is there in area of operations, whether effectiveness of various bodies or committees, whatever committee you have, committee, whatever the committee is available, whether the effectiveness of the committee or not, that's important. Financial support to attend conferences, workshops, faculty development programs, teachers attending professional development, orientation program, refresher course for the student faculty members, whether short-term courses they are attending, faculty development programs you are conducting, and faculties are participating in different situations, whether you have external and internal financial audits. And institution in strategies for mobilization of funds, institution reviews its teaching learning process, structure and methodologies of operation and learning outcomes. As I was mentioning, learning outcomes for periodic intervals through IQSC. IQSC plays a very important role for conducting academic audit, conducting this course outcomes, learning outcomes, conducting different quality initiatives in the institutes. So this is academic administrative audits, grievance committee, etc. Last criteria is institutional values and best practices, institutional values and social responsibilities, best practices, institutional distinctiveness. In that you have gender equity, safety, security, counseling, common room, renewable energy, rainwater harvesting, whether you have solid waste management, liquid waste management, e-waste management, whether you have green practices, whether you conduct green audits, whether you conduct power audit, whether barrier-free campus, all that is very important. Whether you have a provision for lift, etc. is important. Students, teachers, governing body, okay. Plans and organizes appropriate activities to increase consciousness about national identities. It's very important. Institute celebrates, organizes national and international commemorative days. Best practices, you can have your own best practices. Instead, don't ask what are the best practices. You can have several best practices are available. What is the best practices you can conduct your institute? Please go ahead with that best practices. Best practices maybe in teaching learning. Best practices maybe in extension activities. Best practices can be in any of the criteria what we have defined or other than those criteria also. I sincerely tell you that whatever the criteria we have mentioned, okay, whatever you tell about best practices that can be fit into one of the criteria. Explain the institutional distinctiveness, gender equity, renewable energy, waste management, rainwater harvesting, green initiatives, fear-free campus. Okay, let us talk about our IIQA. As I was, see, this HCI portal is very important. So you need to create HCI portal by registering. So because by using that portal, it has got a dashboard. The dashboard will tell you whether submission of IIQA, SSR, uploading of student satisfaction survey, and AQAs, everything you can get it from this HCI portal. Online submissions, clarifications, edit applications in IIQA, DVV, and AQAs by using HCI portal. Payment of fees by using HCI portal. We have a support help desk menu where by using that you can clarify your queries, and notification alerts also you can see from HCI portal. Any sort of communication to NAC by HCI. If you look at the IIQA, okay, if your institute is ready for accreditation, you can submit IIQA. This IIQA this will give you the eligibility of the institute for complete assessment and accreditation by NAC will be verified through IIQA. The basic information you have to submit in IIQA, the statutory requirements has to be submitted in IIQA. Registration process first, then IIQA application, fees for IIQA application, submit IIQA, clarification of IIQA, acceptance or rejection of IIQA. Yeah, yeah, these are all basic information in IIQA. Mandatory requirements are your AISSC certificates, approval letters from different statutory regulatory authority, undertaking in NAC format, and your website should be functional. RTI is mandatory. This is all self-signed understanding. You can go to our website and understand that what is IIQA. Okay. If your IIQA is accepted, then you can submit SSR. For submission of SSR, we'll provide you 45 days time for submission of SSR. First, IIQA submission, then SSR submission. In SSR is self-study report. In that, you have quantitative metrics and qualitative metrics. Then data validation, verification, then pre-qualification. Pre-qualification is 25% of your quantitative metrics. Whatever the quantitative metrics, 25% of that. Okay, if you score below that, then you are not pre-qualified. Then peer team visit, then you have assessment outcome documents. Yeah, this is some of the, oh, okay. So in IIQA, you can submit an SSR profile of the institutions, extended profile. I'll tell you what is an extended profile, the importance of extended profile. Then SSR. In SSR, you submit qualitative and quantitative metrics, then executive summary within 45 days. Yes. For SSR submission, please go through the NAC manuals and guidelines. Understanding of metrics is not important, is very important. Don't run after what I should have so that I'll score this, I'll score that. Please don't run after that. What is important for a student is most important. How many value-added courses I will conduct for the students for benefit, that's important. Not that how many I should have so that I'll get 4. That's not important. How many faculty development program I should conduct, that is important. Please do that exercise in your own educational institutes. Data submission, both quantitative and qualitative metrics, uploading of relevant documents. The relevant documents needs to be uploaded. Not only mere submitting the documents by using our templates, but supporting documents are important. Please refer our standard operating procedures. In standard operating procedures, it will help you. It will help you during DVB clarifications. So it is almost, you've seen the percentage of quantitative metrics and qualitative metrics. Templates, I told you already. This is a question. It's a question. Data templates, NAC template is provided. Uploading a supporting document is also provided. These are all qualitative metrics. Qualitative metrics you can write within 500 words. Okay. Then executive summary. In executive summary, you write introductory note, criteria-wise summary, strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges, any additional information about the institute, and overall conclusive explications about the institute's functioning. That is the executive summary. I'll give a simple example. In affiliated, look at this. Suppose there are so many quantitative metrics you told. This quantitative metrics, I'll map all those quantitative metrics, whatever I've explained, into 5 different categories. Some metrics are, we are collecting last 5 years data. In somewhere we are collecting average percentage of last 5 years data. In somewhere multiple choice questions. In somewhere current year data. In somewhere current year data ratio. Let us take example of each one of it. Last 5 years data, percentage of students undertaking field project, field work, project work, internships. Here we are collecting last 5 years data. Number of students undertaking field work, project work divided by total number of students. In extended profile, you need to submit total number of students, total number of programs, total number of faculties, total number of faculty with PhD qualifications, all that, total number of faculties, total number of so number of faculty with PhD qualification will go as a numerator. In denominator, we have total number of faculties. Numerator by denominator will get a value. That value will be mapped onto 43210. Depends on the benchmark. It depends on the benchmark box. You can have either 43210. Similarly, for this also, number of students are undertaking field project divided by total number of students multiplied by 100. You get a percentage in this. That percentage will go to the benchmark box. Output of that benchmark box is either 43210. Whatever you get, either 2, 3. If you get 3, 3 is multiplied by 10. 30 is the score value. In somewhere you are collecting average percentage of last 5 years data. Let us take an example. Average percentage of seats filled against seats reserved for various categories. This is, you are calculating for each year. Again, average percentage you are calculating. Look at this, average percentage equal to percentage per year divided by 5. Similarly, multiple choice questions. Institute has subscription for the following e-resources: e-journals, e-South Sindhus, South Ganga membership, e-books, databases, etc. And if 4 of the above, 3 of the above, 2 of the above, 1 of the above, none of the above, you can choose one of the options. Depends on what you have in your institute. Last one is current year data. In current year's data, let us percentage of per day, how many students and faculty members are using library. The formula here is number of teachers and students using library per day divided by total number of students and total number of faculties. Multiply by 100, you get a value there. You get a percentage there. That percentage will go to the benchmark box. Output is either 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Current year data. Current year data is mentor-mentee. How many students? 1 mentor is a faculty. Faculty student ratio. How many students? 20 students, 1 faculty. This is mentor-mentee. This is faculty student ratio. This is current year data. Now, these are qualitative metrics. I told you you have to write within 500 words. Look at this score calculation. How the score calculates. For 1.3.1. Institute integrates cross-cutting relevant to. This is a qualitative metrics. You got 3 PhD members has given 3 for this. Weightage for this is 10. 10 into 3 is 30. What is the maximum score for that particular metric? It is 40. Second one is a quantitative metrics. Number of value-added courses imparting transferable and life skills offered during the last 5 years. Performance of the institute is 2. Institute is 2, that is verified and validated by the DVV partners. The 2 is mapped onto 1, depends on our benchmark. The 2 is input to the benchmark, depends upon our benchmark, you got the output is 1 there. Okay, depends on how many value-added courses you have conducted in your institute. And 15 is the weightage metric, 15 into 1 is 15. If you have got 4, 15 into 4 is 60 is the maximum score value. This is how the score calculation takes place. I have already explained you about this benchmark. This already I have explained you. Okay, there are some opt-out matrices for affiliated colleges. The 3%, 30 is the opt-out metric. Total 10 is the weightages. 10 is the weightages. All metrics in criteria 1, 2, and 7 are essential. You can't opt out any of the metrics from criteria 1, 2, and 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, you can opt out. Maximum weightages that can be opt out from a particular criteria is only 10. Total opt out is 30. Yeah, this is UNM of SSR will be sent for DVV process except student satisfaction survey. Over to Dr. Ponmudi Raj. Can you please coordinate the next presenter?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Ramya Kumar Rath, for this wonderful presentation. Dr. Ramya.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much for this elucidate presentation about the overview of the revised accreditation framework, how to submit IAQA, and the self-study report. And very explicitly, you mentioned about the second criteria for affiliated and constituent colleges. Very important is the program outcomes, program specific outcomes, course outcomes, module outcomes, unit outcomes, and an example of an engineering, especially electrostaticity, and all those things, and explained very beautifully on the outcome base as well as on graduate attributes. Thank you. Now, once you submit the SSR, now this has to go to the third-party data validation verification. So this data validation verification, the third-party external DVV, how it is done, what are the matrices, whether all the matrices goes or quantitative, whether triple S goes to the DVV, all this will be dealt by Dr. Ruchi Tripathi, Dr. Mrs. Ruchi Tripathi, on the data validation verification. DVV, please. Ruchi.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Go to Dr. Ruchi.
Yes,
Go ahead.
This is data validation and verification process. Once the SSR is submitted by the HEI, the next process is the DVV. Actually, submission of SSR, once the self-study report submitted by the HEI, there is two parallel process. One is the data validation and verification, and the second one is the triple S and student satisfaction survey process. I'm just going to explain what is the process of data validation and verification. Once the SSR is submitted by the HEI within the 45 days, the process is start the data validation verification. Actually, what is the data validation verification? We have 5-6 partner under the panel of NAC. This is third party, that is called a DBB partner. Once the HEI submitted SSR report, this is automatically round robin method. With the help of round robin method, this is assigned to the DBB partner. Once the DBB partner received SSR, the DBB partner only verify the quantitative metric. Already my senior colleague explained what is the quantitative metric and what is the qualitative metric. Then I'm going to tell in the DBB process, only quantitative metric is going to validate by the DBB partner, not qualitative metric. The qualitative metric is verified by the peer team visit. But in DBB process, only the quantitative metric verified by the DBB partner. So the DBB partner received the quantitative metric because today is the affiliated college session. So I'm going to take the UG and PG college. Already sir explained there is total metric in UG college and PG college is the 96 and 93. The PG college is the 96 metric. Out of 96 metric, there is 60 metric is quantitative in case of PG college. So all 60 metric, quantitative metric will go to the DBB partner. DBB partner verify only the quantitative metric. What DBB partner will do? DB partner verify input for the extended profile questions, quantitative metric based on templates, and complete details for the validate the same with the uploaded documents, links, and other external web sources like AISHE, NIRF, UGC, and institutional website. So once the HEI submit the SSR, this will go to the DBB partner, and DBB partner look the all quantitative metric, the definition of quantitative metric, and also they verify from the extended profile, and what are the link provided by the HEI, and what is the data template filled by the HEI. They will look all those things and verify on the basis of this. If any college are also have the NIRF ranking, the NIRF rank, then also the DBB partner verify for the NIRF or SA or the UGC, but same year data. So that is the DBB partner and DBB process. Before I'm going to explain the DBB process, I just want to explain one thing more here. Extended profile. Actually, sir already explained what is extended profile. In extended profile, there are 4 type of question. It is related to the program, students, teachers, and institutions. So there are total number, how many total number of courses are there, that is related to the program. Students related question like number of students year wise, or the number of student placed, outgoing students are there, like that student related question, and number of full-time teacher year wise, like that teacher wise question, and institutions wise like total number of expenditure or the total number of classroom with seminar input, like that kind of question in the extended profile. Why I am explaining here extended profile? Because the institution should know the extended profile question or the denominator is the quantitative metric wise question, that is the numerator. For each numerator number, value, data is the denominator is from the extended profile questions. So that's why I am going to focus here with extended profile. The DBB partner on portal, the DBB partner raised the query with the help of extended profile question or the quantitative metric whenever it found the mismatch or the discrepancy in the data after verification and validation. What is the range of clarification? Actually, the DBB process is hold portal on portal only. DBB partner look each quantitative metric. They verifies the data. I already explained with the metric wise, with the input wise, with the supporting documents. And whenever they found mismatch or discrepancy of the data, they will raise the clarification. Suppose I'm going to take example of the PG college. So in PG college, there is total 60 quantitative metric. Out of 60 quantity, total 60 quantity metric verified by the DBB partner, they will check all the 60 quantitative metric, supporting document, data template, extended profile, and whatever input provided by the HEI. Whenever they find out the mismatch or discrepancy, they will raise the clarification. Maybe out of 60 question metric whole, maybe out of 60, 10, maybe 5, maybe 40 or 30, like that. Then it may raise queries only without suggesting different input, but short for the additional supporting document information. That is the one way. Another way it is also may possible. They raise queries by suggesting a different input instead for the clarification. DBB, once the DBB raise the clarification, that is 7 days procedure, and the HEI received the clarification after the submission of SSR, maybe 7 days or the 10 days, it depends on the process. Then they will receive the clarification from the DBB partner. HEI have only the 15 days time, will give in the clarify all the queries raised by the DBB partner. On the basis of clarification, HEI upload the relevant documents and provides revised clarification input and submit DBB clarification on portal only. Why I am telling on portal only? I just wanted to tell all the HEI, please go all the communication between the DBB partner and HEI with only on portal. No other way of the communication. Then HEI should reply all the clarification within the portal, with the portal only. HEI can go through the standard operating procedure documents for the better clarity, what kind of relevant supporting document to be uploaded for the DBB queries, which are considerable, which are not considerable, All information is available in standard operating procedure. This standard operating procedure is available in our NAC website. It is with the university wise, college wise, UG or PG, or the autonomous wise. If the college is affiliated college, that is the UG college, there is separate standard operating procedure, and the PG is the standard operating procedure. This standard operating procedure is for the extended profile wise and metric wise, which kind of documents supposed to HEI provide, this is available, and which kind of document HEI not provide, this is also available there. So before going to submit the SSR, this is a request from NAC side. The HEI should download the standard operating procedure, read the guidelines, read the metric, read the extended profile, read the documents, and prepare documents on the basis of requirement of the metric content. And there is no extension timeline. I already explained there is a 15 days time to submit the DBB clarification. That is total 15 days. After 15 days, there is no extension of the time. There is no extension of time. Will be given the submit the DBB clarification unless for any natural calamities, political disturbance, and likewise as like today are the COVID-19 problem. So in this case only the NAC is going to the extension, going to given the extension means 15 days plus 7 days. It depend on the situation of the HEI. But generally we have no provision to give any kind of extension for the submission of the clarification, DBB clarification. No second level of clarification. This is very much important. HEI, please, once you have to submit the SSR, in SSR you have to fill all the documents, a metric input, extended profile, supporting document, data template. Another chance, only the DBB clarification stage, HEI have the second level clarification, but there is no second level clarification. Those metric, the DBB partner will ask the clarification. HEI should be able to provide for that kind of metric the clarification. It means there is no second level of clarification. Once the DBB partner raises the clarification, the HEI has the 15 days to give all the clarification reply. No other way of the second level clarification to reply by the HEI. If the input, one thing more, if the input is more, the documents may be provided for small random selection of the data as sought by the DBB partner. DBB will take decision of the pro rata basis. Yeah, it is very much important to HEI to understand what is the concept of this. Because sometimes some of the metric, the HEI has the very much large data. Like I'm going to take one example. The question is, one question is here, number of students gone for the internship or the field project. In this question, suppose HEI 2,000 or 3,000 students gone for the field trip or the summer internship. So this is not possible to upload all 3,000 summer internship certificate. In this case, whatever data given by the HEI in template, data template, the DBB partner select the random selection like name X or the name Y or the name Z or the name P. Please provide 4 certificate for this name. In this situation, HEI should be provide all the 4 name certificate. It is very much important. If HEI is not going to provide our 4 certificate, then suppose the HEI provide 3 or 2, accordingly the decision is based on the pro rata basis. So that whatever the sort the data by the DBB partner, randomly asked by the DBB partner, HEI should provide all those certificate in this case. So that is the random selection by the DBB partner. After completion of the DBB process, the inputs and responses for all those metric or extended profile questions where queries are raised will be uploaded as finalized by the DBB partner. The deviation analysis report containing the input before DBB clarification and after DBB clarification along with the remarks included annexed in the uploaded SSR for the institutions. Once the DBB process is over, there is 2 kind of deviation. Deviation, the extended profile deviation and the metric level deviation. We have 4 stages or 4 status of the deviation. The first is the no answer change, second is the HEI clarification accepted, third is the DBB suggestion recommended, and fourth is the change after clarification. No answer change, first point, it means whatever HEI given the data, the DBB consider the same data, that is called as the no answer change. HEI clarification accepted means initially at the time of SSR, HEI given some numbers, but due to at the time of clarification of the DBB, HEI given some number. In this number, the supporting document match and DBB partner consider this number, that is called the HEI clarification accepted. And the DBB suggestion means maybe some DBB partner suggested some number on the basis of supporting document, and that suggestion is recommended by the HEI, that is called as the DBB suggestion recommended. And the fourth is change after clarification. This is change, means whatever given you data, maybe after the verification of the supporting documents, that data may be changed, either increase or decrease, that, but this is change after the verification of the supporting document, that is called as the change after clarification. You can see here the deviation report. This is first status change after clarification, and second is the HEI clarification is accepted. That is first box, some number is there given by the HEI, and that is the recommended input given by the DBB partner. You are able to see here that number is totally changed. This is the HEI number, and that this is the DBB partner recommended number. Means DBB partner find out on the basis of supporting document that number in year wise. That's why they consider this number. So that is the change after clarification. I just want to take given one example. That is this column, lot of metric are visible. What is this metric? Why this number is visible here? Actually, this is extended profile deviation. I just want to tell you, if any HEI is given wrong data in extended profile, then how many metrics are affected? Suppose HEI is given wrong data, you are able to see here that number is changed in number of student year wise during the last 5 years. So due to this question, extended profile number change, there is more than 10 metric are affected, because that 10 metric is related to the students. I already explained, told the denominator is from the extended profile and the numerator is for the metric wise, means this metric is related to the students, maybe the for internship project, maybe for the how many students are gone for the cultural programs, sports activities, certificates, and for placement, like that. These are the things, that's why that metric is affected. So please provide in this extended profile accurate, exact, whatever HEI correctly clearly has, they has to provide that number only. So that is the extended profile, and that metric is affected due to wrong data of the wrong representation in the extended profile. This is the metric level deviation. I just want to show you. This is DBB suggestion recommended. Here you are able to see the total expenditure. HEI given some number, DBB suggested some number, but this number is accepted by the HEI, that is recommended, that is called that the DBB suggestion recommended. So these are the status of the deviation, extended profile, and the metric wise. Some important point to be noted to the HEI due to the DBB process. First, each file we have, for each file size, document should not be increased 5 MB. Otherwise, if it is increased 5 MB, what the HEI should do, they will upload the same on the institutional website and provide the particular link in the response box. Second, provide particular URL instead of generic website address. Password protection please be avoided. Do not provide any data in the Google Drive, must be avoided, and no other means of communication between HEI and DBB partner except response box provided against each metric where the queries are raised. Yeah, actually what happened, once after the DBB process, sometime HEI called and it told you know, at that time I forget that document to the uploaded in portal. Please consider this document. So I wanted to tell during the clarification, whatever document provided by supporting document provided by the HEI on portal only, the NAC will consider. Even if the document sizes documents are more, then in between in this particular time, you please provide the link and also keep the more document in HEI website. No other way. We are not going to, after the DBB process, we are not going to take any data, any supporting document, either hard copy or any mail form or any other way. So this is very much important. HEI should be ready for the DBB process. They have to clear all the concept. What is the DBB process? Timeline is also very much important. They have adhere to the timeline. This is also very much important. Some of the metric we ask for the geotag photograph. In this case, we have in our website guidelines how to take the geotag photograph, and you also see the geotag photograph and provide accordingly. If any documents in regional language, like suppose any Marathi or any Gujarati, whatever, any English, please give the original document in regional language along with the translated English version signed by the higher authority of this organization. And unit of measurement in lakhs. Sometimes some of the metric we have in lakhs. So this is suggestion to the HEI. If any suppose any for any expenditure, the expenditure is like 1,50,000. In this case, they provide 1.5 instead of 150,000 like that. Glossary and understanding of metric is very much important. In some of the metric, we are asking about the audited statement certified by the CA or the finance officer. The HEI should be provide the CA certified audited statement and the balance sheet. That is very much important. Apart from this, I would just want to explain one example. One metric is in extended profile, that is called as total expenditure excluding salary year-wise during the last 5. This is the question in extended profile. And 3 more question in metric wise that is also related to the expenditure. Number 1 question is the infrastructure augmentation expenditure. Another is the expenditure of books, purchase of the books and journals. And another expenditure is the maintenance of physical and academic infrastructure expenditure excluding salary. We observed that HEI is not understood which kind of expenditure metric ask. Please go through and read out clearly the metric contained. If metric is asked about the maintenance of physical infrastructure and academic infrastructure, that you have to provide the highlight the things those are related to the physical and academic expenditure, maintenance expenditure. If anything is the augmented infrastructure, please provide you highlight the augmented infrastructure. If anything is related to the purchase of books and journal, and you highlighted that kind of expenditure, you also highlighted, and that all 3 expenditure is not more than the total expenditure, whatever you represented in the extended profile last question, institutions column. So these are the things HEI should be taking care. That is important. We already explained there is the 15 days time to submit the DBB clarification. If the DBB is not going to give submit the DBB clarification 15 days, then only the unfortunate situation on calamites we are going to give the extension. If the HEI is going to provide the all clarification, submit the provide clarification, that is okay. If they are not going to submit the clarification, then this is they may be the assessment and accreditation process here for the HEI is going to stop. In this case, the such institution shall reply for the accreditation after 1 year for the cooling period by the submission of IAQN and filling the SSR phrase. So this is very much important. I already explained told many times. Whatever DBB partner asks clarification, how many days, how much number means out of 60. If I'm going to take the example of PG, so out of 60, if DBB partner asks 50 clarification or the 60 clarification, HEI has the mandatory to reply all the clarification and also give the documents, revised documents. You also whatever DBB asks, what question DBB partner asks, please reply the clarification in response box also. This is very much mandatory like that. After the DBB process, we have the pre-qualification stage. Pre-qualification stage is the score will be generated by all the quantitative metric basing on the benchmark. As of now, this is a NAC, the 25% in overall quantitative metric is the pre-qualification is passed. If the below the 25% score of the total quantitative metric, that means the not pre-qualified institution, they may apply A and fresh process after a 6 months. You can see here the chart that qualified, that next process is the PA team visit. But if they are not qualified, they has to apply a fresh IAQA after 6 months. So this is the 25 equal to 25 or greater than 25 score is the pre-qualification is passed. Once the HA DBB partner also give the timeline is the very important. HAI should be ready for the timeline and this process. From my side, that is over. Thank you. I just hand over to the Amin sir. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Dr. Ruchi.
Thank you, sir.
For wonderful presentation regarding the data validation and verification. I thought the last but one slide, I'll just supplement a point. She said about translation of the documents which are vernacular in nature, which are in local language or vernacular in nature. Please have a self-attested, principal should attest the English translation of it, wherever appropriate. There could be a question, sir, there are 50,000 documents. You want us to translate all the 50,000 documents. So I say wherever is appropriate, the relevant documents, Dr. Ruchi said about translation into English, preferably a self-attested by the head of the institution, appropriately. Kindly go through operating procedures for it. Now may I kindly request, hello?
Yeah, hello.
Dr. Devendra, our Senior Deputy Advisor, is with us. He'll be talking about the student satisfaction survey for affiliated and constituent colleges, both for UG and PG put together. Over to Dr. Kavde.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. BSP, and thank you, Dr. AKR, sir, our director, sir, to be thanks for this webinar series to happen. And namaskar to all respected academicians who are present here as a participant. This session is very short, of only 15 minutes, but it's very important.